Hello everybody, I'm Cassidy, I'm the Hippie Catholic. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, please subscribe to be part of the conversation. So this is just kind of a little lifestyle ramble video. I know that like Advent and the holiday season can be a really stressful time for a lot of people, so I just kind of wanted to make some chill, relaxing type videos for you guys. Also, new background. Yeah, so again, I'm gonna be switching up my backgrounds. I'm still gonna be filming in front of the window. I think I'm probably gonna like film in front of the blue chair too. For those of you who don't know, in addition to talking about progressive Christianity and making a fool of myself on the internet for all to see on my comedy channel, Jerry Crew Comedy, that was all in one breath, I am a singer-songwriter. Music is an intrinsic part of my life. My mom said that I was singing before I could talk. So music's always been kind of like a really intrinsic part of me, and it's brought me to a lot of the key people that are in my life. We're just gonna have a little chat about my favorite Christian alternative folk bands. I absolutely adore alternative folk music. That's my favorite genre as a whole. So many of the bands that I'm going to talk about pull from experimental genres and also pull from cultural traditions such as Celtic music and bluegrass, blues, and just some good old Catholic hymns. Gotta love those Gregorian chants. Let's music nerd out together. Also, this is in no particular order, so the first band I'm gonna be talking about is the Oh Hellos. This was a group I found out about when I was just scrolling on YouTube. The Oh Hellos quickly became one of my favorite musical groups. So much of their music draws from Celtic music, and there's also like some hints of like some like Asian type influences. The song's lyrics are so masterfully written. Like there's so much gorgeous Christian imagery. There's so many like theological themes. Like there's songs that talk about the Eucharist, that talk about Caesar, Adam and Eve, like the romantic elements of Adam and Eve. Listen to this. Does this not sound like something you could like jam out to when you're like driving across the country? If only these mountains are real. Go check out the Oh Hellos, gotta love them. The second band I'm gonna be talking about is the Illogical Spoon, which is all one word. This group is probably the least known band that I'll be discussing. I need some hipster cred. Isn't there supposed to be like an ironic badge or something that I'm supposed to get? This band is so raw. It's wonderful and theological. What an illogical, theological spoon. I'm gross. And what's sad is that I'm not sure if they're active anymore. They're rather obscure. I've scoured the internet, like, looking for them. If any of you guys know about the status of the Illogical Spoon, please let me know, because I want to know, because I want to invade wherever they're playing. Support your local bands, guys. Their songs focus a lot on, like, the many aspects of God. One of my favorite songs by them is called Mother Bear. This harkens back to the biblical depiction of God being like a mother bear. So I'm just gonna play like a little bit of that song.
Oh Lord, Mother Bear, or again that we may hear. Oh Lord, Mother Bear, or again that we may hear. Wild love, ancient ones, say that you defend your cubs. Oh Lord, Mother Bear, or again that we may hear. The way back to the tree of life, hellhounds on our trail tonight. Oh Lord, Mother Bear, or again let hell be scared.
All these songs will be on the Hippie Catholic music playlist on my channel, so if you guys wanna jam to some hippie Catholic stuff, it's gonna be there. But I found out about this band thanks to the Magnificast podcast, which I highly recommend that podcast. They talk about Christianity and leftist politics. I don't really identify as a leftist myself. I really enjoy podcasts that try to break barriers. What I really love about the Magnificast is how they explore that one could be left-leaning politically and still be a Christian and how, you know, those two things don't have to be at odds with each other. And I think that that's beautiful. I think anything that's trying to build a bridge between humanity and God is an amazing thing. Hence why I'm a Christian, because Christ does that. Wow, that just got really theologically nerdy. But moral of the story, listen to the Magnificast and the Illogical Spoon. Moving on. The day we find the logical spoon is the day the rapture happens. Number 3 on my list, Gungor. Where do I start with Gungor? This band was very important to the creation of this platform. Well, because the intro music of every HippieCatholic video is a snippet from one of Gungor's live acoustic performances from a song called God and Country. Gungor is an innovative, experimental collective, and I'm obsessed with it. Gungor is one of those rare Christian bands which is unapologetically progressive, featuring songs about climate change and calling out misconceptions and racism in God is not a white man. But notably, Gungor was dropped off of Christian radio stations after they supported the theory of evolution. Silly science. Later, this group made headlines when half of their duo, Lisa Gungor, oh my gosh, Lisa Gungor, I fangirl over her too hard. She was interviewed on BuzzFeed under the misleading title, I stopped believing in God after pastoring at a megachurch. Lisa never left Christianity, but rather left the conservative evangelical tradition. I believe BuzzFeed changed the title. I'm glad they did that. But I'll let her tell some of her story in the following clip.
In order to belong in this tribe, you have to conform. And if you have doubts, you're a dangerous person. We didn't have sex with each other before we were married. We waited to kiss. We did it all right. We had this transactional idea of God, and that's why we landed this really great, awesome job. And Michael and I took this trip in Europe from Rome. We took trains up to Krakow. We visited the concentration camps. We walked through the crematoriums. And it's real hard to come back to America and pray for something when you have these images of people's hair in piles and children's shoes in piles. Your ideas on what a good God is can change pretty dramatically. So I came back and found myself trying to pray for us to have a baby, or pray for our church, or pray for these different things. And I just kept thinking about the concentration camp and how my whole perspective on my faith has been a transaction. If I'm good enough, or if I pray enough, if I believe enough, then I get blessings and I get a baby or a good life.
I love her honesty, and I love how she calls out the transactional nature within purity culture. For those of you who are uninitiated, for one thing, bless you if you don't know about purity culture, but purity culture is an evangelical theory which has been hurting Christians since its cultic promotion in the 1990s. Basically, purity culture says that to save sex until marriage and to not date anybody, like there was a book by Josh Harris, which Josh follows me on Instagram, he's great. Joshua Harris wrote a book called I Kiss Dating Goodbye, and it was basically talking about like going back to old courting rituals and how like making love on your wedding night is supposed to be like this end-all be-all thing, and it's like the Bible never says that anywhere. Purity culture just has been really problematic and has left people with spiritual and psychological trauma. Joshua Harris has left those positions now. I'm so glad. I think he's gonna be more of a progressive Christian voice. So Joshua, if you're watching this, sending love and good vibes to you from the Hippie Catholic. So yeah. Lisa's husband, Michael Gungor, did leave Christianity and became agnostic, and the Gungor Music Collective closed up shop. But the couple still says they're making music, it just won't be for Gungor. And actually something else that they're doing that I absolutely love. Gungor has moved on to making podcasts now. They founded a podcast called The Liturgist, which, oh my gosh, The Liturgist is, if any of you are trying to reconstruct your faith, please check out The Liturgist. The Liturgists are absolutely amazing. Honestly, that's my favorite podcast right now. I like go back and forth between the Magnificast and The Liturgists. Lately, I've been listening to The Liturgists, but here's a little snippet of Gungor music to relax to.
Trees clap their hands, oceans
The fourth artist I'm going to be talking about is Emily Bindiger. I found this artist while deep diving into one of the weirdest but yet most wonderful music genres in the world, and it fits this channel's vibe so well. It's actually kind of creepy. It's called Catholic Psychedelic Synth Folk. Does that not sound awesome, or am I the only one nerding out about this? And I found Emily Bindiger on a playlist paying homage to this amazingly strange niche genre, and her song Old Lace was released in 1971. She's an amazing OG hippie, not a copycat like us filthy millennials. But yeah, here's a little snippet from one of her songs, and then also you can find all of this music on the Hippie Catholic playlist on my channel.
When you've gone inside and stuck right, it's gonna be hard, but we simply have to say goodbye.
Now for the fifth and final artist that we're going to be talking about today is Sister Irene O'Connor. This list would not be complete without this iconic hippie nun. Get this. If you want to know what Vatican II is in the form of a song, listen to this. This is basically it. She's got almost like some like Lana Del Rey like type vibes. I don't know, like it's so like sensual. If you're a fan of indie folk music, know that Sister Irene O'Connor was one of the foremothers of the genre. I always wondered why I loved alternative folk. Maybe this is why. But anyway, thank you so much guys for watching. Please consider supporting me on my Patreon account if you're financially able to do so. As a small creator, I'm currently not monetized, so any contribution would be absolutely appreciated. But if you're not in the financial position to donate, that's totally okay, and I love you guys, all of you. Please consider sharing this video with friends or loved ones or anybody who you think would enjoy the kind of content I create on this platform, because that just helps the channel grow in diversity. Do you have any Catholic psychedelic synth folk recommendations for me? Please leave them in the comments below if you do. Thank you so much guys again for watching. I'm Cassidy, I'm the Hippie Catholic. God bless.